Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Louis Centeno Show. Welcome to Countdown to Justice. Today is February 27th, 2021. It's about 7:01 p.m. and I thank everybody that's going to join us in watching this program. Um, I have a tremendous show starting today, and the guest of list that I have going forward, all to cover Countdown to Justice, all to cover Zack Snyder Justice League. This event is also raising awareness of juvenile diabetes. I ask those that whatever you can, amount that you could donate, the money's not going to me, and the money's going to the Juveniles Diabetes Research Foundation. That foundation is focusing on finding a cure for type 1. The medicine, the advancement, the medical equipment has gone a long way. Last Saturday, I had a educator from JDRF who joined my show, who discussed type 1 diabetes. And then I had on later on the program as well, I had a nurse practitioner, I had an educator, and I had my daughter Jasmine, who joined me, and also a mom who has a child who has type 1 diabetes. So if you could donate any amount to help find a cure for type 1 diabetes, I greatly appreciate it. This is the reason why I'm doing this event. It's for two reasons. Obvious, to celebrate Zack Snyder Justice League that's coming out on March 18th, and also to raise awareness of juvenile diabetes. Also, I failed to mention that on that particular program, they give warning signs. They educate us, how because there's typically no warning. The warning signs are there, but the parents, when it comes to juvenile diabetes, don't notice the warning signs. So I wish I would have had that education before last year, but in any event, this is why I'm doing this. So I'm just going to go ahead quickly discuss the events and guests that I have scheduled going forward. And today, Allie Brooks is going to be joining us, and Julie Whiteley, who's going to be joining us. Julie's going to be sharing with us her emotional story, her tragic situation that she had to endure and still enduring today. She is a rape survivor, and she wants to bring justice to her rapist. My job is to give her a voice to speak. So this program is going to get emotional. But I feel like I owe it to her to give her a platform. I have two daughters. I have a wife, and it could have been done. Julie could have been my mom. She could have been my sister. She could have been my cousin. She could have been my wife. And how I would have felt if me being that to her and no one is listening to her. So So I don't even know what to say because it's gonna be emotional. So then on Monday at 7 p.m., John Garza. Yes, folks, you heard right. John Garza is going to be joining me. We're going to discuss what's going on in the past 24 hours. The supposed recast of Superman, and folks, it's not even a recast. It's not a recast of Superman. Because if it was a recast of Superman, then it would say it was Kal-El. So it looks like it's going to be a different Superman. So there's a catch to this. So I'm going to try to touch on it today with Allie. So that's March 1st with Julie, with not Julie, but with John Garza, who's going to be joining us March 1st, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Then on March 4th, Christian. She's a Rotten Tomato critic who's going to be joining us. That's going to be very interesting. Me reading her tweets and her bio. She seems like a very wonderful person. Very professional. So I definitely looking forward towards that. Then on Saturday, we're gonna have Wes Ashley, and Will Rollins is going to be joining us to discuss obviously the Snyder Cut. And then the following day, Sunday, March 7th, the outlaw, also known as the Goat, is going to be joining us, and also Dave, the film junkie, is going to be joining me as well. So I have a tremendous show for you guys this upcoming week. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited. So what I'm gonna do is that at this time I'm gonna bring in Julie. Julie, well, it's good evening. It's still afternoon in Utah, isn't it?
Well, it's 5, just after 5. So the
Just
family's
after 5.
dinner downstairs.
How's the weather out there?
It's pretty cold today. We're 30 degrees, but a little bit of sun, but not much.
Not much. For those I don't know, she lives in Utah. I asked that because I used to live in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I love that part of the country with the mountains and the beautiful desert, and it's just beautiful. It's just gorgeous. Julie, before we get into your situation, let's talk about first what this fandom has meant to you, as far as Zack Snyder and his movie.
Well, boy, that's a big one for me. I use Vero, however you say it, and I have gotten so many friends, follow Zach on there, Ray Fisher, and have made so many friends through the Snyder community through there. And when I came out with my story, they were more supportive and helpful to me than most of my family was. And gosh, I'm gonna cry a lot. Don't
That's
like
okay.
It's just fine. Like, this is part of the process. It's helpful, so just ignore me. But the Snyder Cut family that I have has really just been there to lift me up and tell me that I'm important and my voice is important, and they've joined my fight for justice, and I would not be here without them.
Okay, so that's heartbreaking. I can imagine the people that you really need to support you and believe your own family, and to get that support from the community, not your family. I can imagine how heartbreaking that still is. Do you have a relation? Do you still have a relationship with them, with your family, or?
Yeah, for sure. And they don't deny that it happened. They know that it's true. I not the only family member, but they're and they say that they are supportive and behind me, but some of their actions say otherwise. And I have two of my brothers that think the oldest, who raped me, should be like a weed and pulled from the family, right? Like, there's good ones and bad ones, and this one is bad, and he's no longer a brother to us, and they fully support that I no longer want to be at any gathering where he's there, and I'm never going to show up if Rob's there. I'm never going to be anywhere near him ever again, now that I'm finally able to quit pretending that we're friends. And they fully support that I need that separation to be able to recover and get rid of the demons in my head. And then I have others that, well, they're just not the same. They still communicate and interact with him and treat him like he belongs, when that's hurtful. They don't do that with me, example, but about half. I have a big family. I came from a family of 7 kids, and about half of them are great and keep in touch with me, and the other half, I still keep in touch with them, but they just don't show the support that that the Snyder Cut family has, quite honestly.
And folks, I want to make very clear. I did speak to Julie in private. I let her know that she has an open platform to speak whatever she wants to speak, and if at any moment she feels uncomfortable, she doesn't have to continue. So I want her to feel empowered, and I want her to feel very comfortable. So, Julie, if at any time you want to stop and change the subject, please let me know, and I gladly do so. Okay, because it's all about you. Okay,
Thank you.
so tell us how this began. Your what's the word? I mean, how everything all began. What happened?
Well, in the last few years, with my journey to talk about it, or
Um, no, let's go from the beginning. Well, first of all, okay. So let everybody know the one that you state that raped you is your brother,
my oldest brother. Yes,
your oldest brother. Okay, was he brought to justice?
not yet.
Okay, have you reported to the authorities?
Yeah.
And what did they tell you?
Well, I reported when I found out that the statutes in my state where some of the abuse happened, right? Most of it happened in another state, but I had a grandmother that lived here, and every time we visited, it happened at her house too. And so I found out that in my state there are no statutes preventing me from
Okay,
reporting this. So I think it's a year and a half ago, I reported it, and it's just a really slow process. About 3 months ago, I think, I called the department to file a complaint because nothing had happened and it had been a year. And then stuff started happening. I think that somebody put some fire under the detective's feet, and he said he wanted to interview my oldest brother. He wanted to interview a brother that was a witness to one of the occasions, and my mother. And so he's done all that now. And a couple of weeks ago, he told me that the investigation is concluded, and now the case file gets turned over to the district court attorney, because this is a federal offense. Rape of a child is a federal offense, and we have proof that it happened. He was still doing this after the age of 18, and so it becomes a federal offense. And so that's where we are. I'm waiting for the district court attorney to decide if he is going to charge him with a crime or not. So it's kind of out of my hands, and I'm just waiting for them to look at the evidence and what Rob said and decide if they're going to charge him with anything. I really just want him on the sex offender list. He freely admits what he did. He doesn't deny it. His defense is he's trying to say he was younger when he stopped. He's trying to say he was under the age of 18 so that they can't charge him. I know it went on until he went to college, and I think we have enough proof to document those trips and when things happened. So I really hope they do the right thing, because that man is dangerous and should not be around
okay.
children.
So I'm not an attorney or anything
Right.
like that. Have you retained an attorney?
So I do have an attorney, because after I came out with my story, um, I have a brother that witnessed it and didn't realize what he was witnessing because he was a kid at the time. And so he is very helpful in, sharing my website and spreading the news and stuff. And that made my oldest brother angry. And so he sued my brother. right? My rapist is all about manipulating me to be quiet. That is what he has been doing my whole life. And he knows if he hurts the people around me that I'll shut up. At least that's what he's counting on. And so he sued my brother for over $1 million, which is ridiculous because he got fired. His boss found out. Nobody, they were unraveling things. There were other things going on in his life that are being investigated, not just my story. Anyways, he was fired, and he blames my brother and I, and not his actions of that caused him to be, fired. It's not my fault if he suffers some consequences because he's the one that chose to do what he did. And anyway, so when he was suing my brother, his lawyers approached me and said, for defamation, they were suing him for defamation, but he wasn't suing me. He's never, because I have evidence where I have emails and voicemails from him where he admits to it when we were talking, and he's trying to apologize and keep me quiet.
Okay, so you still have those? Yeah. Okay, have you gave that to your attorney to turn it over to the authorities?
And the police have it, and I mean,
So what's taking them so long? I mean, well, tell everybody how did everything started? How were you when this assault first began?
I don't have memories where it wasn't happening. I can't tell you when it started because I was too young. My very first memories are of this. If you know how people always ask people, hey, what's your earliest memory, right? I always have hated that question my entire life because my earliest memory is watching my brother masturbate in the storage room and trying to rub his penis on my face. That's my first memory at the age of 2 or 3. Before my mom cut my hair off. That's how I know how old I was. I was very, very young, and I can't remember anything before that memory. So I don't know how long, when he started, how long he'd been doing things where he got comfortable enough to try to do that. Mm-hmm. That's just how I grew up. I never lived a life in my house where he wasn't assaulting me. And it wasn't until, and he's 10 years older than me. And when he went off to college, that's when it stopped. I told my mother soon earlier than that, and I think for a brief period of time it did. But when the opportunity arose, he took advantage of it.
Okay, and what do you mean like took advantage of it? Like he manipulated you? I mean, what?
Like, so when we would go, so he was a big guy. And if you go to my website, you can see pictures of him.
How tall he is?
He's over 6 foot.
And how tall are you?
Right now, I'm 5'8", but when I was a kid, I was half his height, right?
Okay.
He's a big guy on the varsity basketball team. He was very strong, and he was 6 foot in high school. And I was a small child. And I mean, I came up to his waist. When he would rape me, all I could see was I couldn't see his face. I could only see his stomach and his chest. Mm-hmm. I was much smaller than him. And when we would go to my grandparents or something, and they would leave with my grandparents and leave us all alone at the house, then he would, stuff would happen. And I was so terrified of him. I mean, yeah.
Why were you afraid to speak up?
Well, so this had been going on my whole life, and it took me a long time before I became really uncomfortable, right? This is painful to admit, but when you're young and you don't know any different, you don't know that these types of games he's playing with you are bad. And you don't know. I didn't know until I was much older what was actually happening to me. I didn't know that any crimes had been committed. I just didn't know. I didn't know what sex was. I didn't have any idea what was happening to me. I just knew I didn't like how it felt, and it hurt, and I didn't like it. And, he always told me that if I told anyone, I was going to be in huge trouble, and mom and dad were going to hate me, and he was going to hurt me. He was very physically abusive to my other siblings. And I was terrified of the guy. I told somebody once in school, in elementary school, they were talking about how, about kissing boys. And I had said something like, who's going to kiss the first person? And I said, oh, I've already kissed loads, right? Like, that's no big deal for me. I've kissed somebody lots. And they were like, whoa, Julie, who'd you kiss? And then I tried to backpedal and be like, nothing, no one, don't worry about it, I hadn't ever told anyone before. And they said, finally I admitted it, and I'm like, oh, it was nothing, it was just my brother. And I will never forget the disgust on their face. And everybody just slowly backed away from me. And one of them yelled, your brother molests you? I didn't know what that meant. And I was like, yeah, so what? And then they were running around the parking lot yelling to everybody that Julie kisses her brother, and like everybody thought it was disgusting, and I had no friends for a long time till I switched schools. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, he's right. Like, I can't tell anyone about this. This is bad. Nobody will like me if they know what I do, right? And I blamed myself, and I thought that it was my fault in some way because I played the games with him. He would put me in front of a computer and make me watch him take off his clothes like it was a game. And then when his clothes were all off, he would run up the stairs, and I had to catch him, right? And tag him before he could get outside. And then it would be my turn, and I would have to stand in the back, and he would sit in the chair and watch my reflection on our old Commodore 64 computer. And he was so big that when he would catch me, he would just pick me up. And and he would tickle me, and I would laugh, and he would carry my naked body back down the stairs, and then he would rape me. And I didn't know what he was doing.
You don't remember how old were you?
Oh, I was between the ages of 2 and 9 when this happened. I think the raping started when I was about 5, because I can remember I would always look at myself in the mirror and try to figure out how that I was not going to let him do it again. And sometimes I would go across the street to my friend's house whenever my mom would leave and he was in charge, and I would just go play over there. And then Rob would call up their house and say, Julie's in trouble. She can't play. My parents are gone. She has to come home. And I would beg her, please don't make me go home. Please don't make me go home. He's lying. I can play. She would always send me home, and then he'd get mad and threaten to hurt me. And it was just this cycle. And after a while, you just kind of give up.
Julie, have you told every details to the authorities?
Oh yeah, I've told this story so many times now.
Okay, and when did
That's part of the reason why I made the website, was so I could give it. I've given the website to the police, detectives, and other people so they can read it for themselves and use that as my testimony, right, of the events that have happened. I've answered everything that they've asked me.
When did you first go to the authorities?
I first went to the authorities in the state where I grew up, in
And
Idaho.
what state was that? Ohio? Okay.
Idaho.
Idaho, okay.
And I drove there and was interviewed by a detective. They were trying to find a loophole or some way that they could charge him with something. But the statutes didn't prevented them from actually doing anything. So they were trying to find a way to charge him, but they couldn't find one. And so nothing happened in Idaho. And that was October, like 2.5 years ago. And so then I thought nothing could be done. I had written an affidavit for my sister-in-law, who is in a divorce with him right now. She wanted me to write an affidavit about my experiences with him because she was in a divorce, in a custody battle. And I did. And one of the cops was reading that. And he called me and he was like, "What do you mean you can't do anything in Utah?" And I said, "Well, I was told that the statutes prevented me from doing anything." And he said, "No, not here in Utah. You totally can. If it hasn't been reported, you have 10 years for him to be charged from the day that it's reported. And if it hasn't been reported, you can still report it." And so the next day, right then, I called up the police station in the town where my grandparents lived and reported it. But that was that was the summer. So it's been like 1.5 years since I reported it to that police detective.
Okay. And you already have an attorney, so everything is in a DA's hand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When did you last speak with them?
Well, I don't speak with the attorneys very often because they're trying to save money. My brother's attorney withdrew from the case. I don't know if he wised up and said, "I don't want to represent you anymore," or what. So right now, my brother doesn't have representation. That's in the civil lawsuit between him and my brother and I. But as far as the detective, it's hard to get a hold of them. The last time I heard from the detective was on the 16th of February, and he said he was turning it over to the district court attorney. A couple days ago, I spoke with the victim's advocate, who was going to try to figure out if they've received the file yet and how long should I expect to wait before they make the decision. So I'm still waiting to hear if they're going to charge him or not. It should be any day.
Okay. So I'm glad that it sounds like you're headed for, I guess, closures is the right word I want to say.
Right.
So that's good.
If they don't charge him, then it's like the beginning, starting as a new beginning for me too. I'm going to try to make as much noise on my local news. Like, if they don't charge him with something, I think it's ridiculous. He's admitted to it. He's admitted to it for years.
If you have tapes and emails of him admitting it, then I don't. Again, I'm not an attorney. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the bylaws, but I mean, if a person's caught on tape or email stating that they committed a crime,
right,
especially to a minor, I mean, that should be, at least for me, my opinion, that should be sufficient enough. So
the debate lies in how old was he when he stopped. And he admits to the police that this happened, but says he was 16 when it stopped. And that's not true. So
I see that. See, that's the part that I need someone to explain to me, because I've seen juveniles at the age of 13, 14, 12 get charged for a crime. So if it's a crime, it's a crime, regardless of what age the person is. So again, maybe the state where you at doesn't allow that. I don't know. Again, I'm not an attorney, but I just thinking logically here that if a crime is committed, and especially if he's 16, 15, him being a minor would not exclude that, because we've heard stories of minors, 15, 16, going to schools and committing crime, and shooting and all that stuff. So I hopefully, hopefully that there was no statute in Utah that will not allow him, to face justice. So um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's um, let us know, the outcome. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep speaking up. If you feel like nobody's hearing you, keep talking more. I'm sure, hopefully, that this program reaches an attorney, someone that in the event that you don't get the result that you want, that they'll be able to look at it. I can't imagine the horror that you had to endure, living with the mental, um with the mental stress, that you went under. I'm pretty sure you probably went through depression, correct?
Oh, yeah, severe depression, and the only
Right.
reason that I finally spoke up as an adult was because it was kill myself or quit hiding the secret, right? That was literally where I came to, this fork in the road. Where was I gonna go? It was pretty severe.
Yeah. I'm a suicide survivor. At the age of 19, I tried to end my life. That was going through a lot at that particular age. So I can imagine, uh, the depression. It's just the depression is a silent killer. That's where everything all begins. You feel hopeless. You feel hopeless. Feel like you can't turn to nobody. You have no worth. Like you don't value yourself. And so um,
You know, I can't remember how long ago this was, maybe a month or 2 ago. The stress of the lawsuit and the stress of the reality of my family, right? Like it would be different if this was a rapist I never had to see again. But because he's still walking around like a successful businessman, just with no consequences, and he manipulates my mom, and he tells lies about me, and I get so, like the stress was pushing on me pretty hard. And I was making plans to end it. I'm a gun owner, and I figured out what I was going to do, and I was sitting in my chair in my room saying goodbyes to my family in my head, thinking how much better everybody would be, and, making the plans. And I was wearing this shirt, and I saw my reflection in the window of this shirt, and I looked down, and I thought, I cannot, if they find me in this shirt and I'm dead, what a dishonor that is to Autumn and to all the people that are, rooting for me and trying to raise money for suicide prevention. And literally, this shirt saved my life. It snapped me out of the funk I was feeling, and I realized I can't do that. I bought this shirt and donated money to help people not kill themselves. So I can't do that. And it snapped me out of my moment, and I put the gun away.
um, Julie, don't be afraid to use the resources. When you feel down, that's why they are there for you. Um, you know, uh, I'm a person of faith. Um,
That's
uh,
right.
and I could tell you, at least for me, when as a 19 years old, when I had a second chance in life, I turned to faith, and it helped me heal the wounds that I had inside.
Hmm.
I want to encourage you, to reach out to your local church, or if you, or maybe counseling, and and keep on fighting. You're a true Wonder Woman. Um, what you had to endure, and it takes a strong woman. So I thank you for sharing that story with everyone, and don't give up. Let us know. Let me know if there's more that I can do for you. Um, I really, really want that person to face justice. That I can't fathom the pain, the mental health, that you had to endure all these years. Um, tell us, you have kids. You have any children?
5.
Five. You want to hear something? Just to to go on the positive side. Um, because if we keep on talking about you're gonna break me down, and I'm gonna cry, and I gotta
Yeah.
so but my mother raised five boys.
Wow.
Five boys, all in New York. And one of those storylines that I see, that I want to explore, that I want to see in Justice League, is the relationship between Cyborg and his mother,
Yes.
Ray Fisher and Karen Bryson. My mother is no longer with me. She passed away at the age of 51 of asthma. That's more like 15 years ago.
Mhm.
And I'm dying to get Ray Fish and Karen Bryson on the show, so we could um, uh, discuss that. So you have five. So you have five kids. Are they
Mhm.
boys, girls? I mean, what?
3 boys and 2 girls. My oldest is a freshman in college, and my youngest is a 3rd grader.
Third grader.
Mhm.
Wow.
So
Third.
yeah, they range from 9 to 19.
9 to 19.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay. My mother's so she have five boys. Then from my father's side, there's 11 boys and one girl. So he looks like he wanted to build a baseball team. So
Yeah.
that's what he want to do. So let's talk a little bit about so who is your favorite DC character?
Batman.
Batman. Okay.
Heck yeah.
Another Batman. I'm a Superman fan, so
Oh, I love Superman too. You see that? No, this way. My son,
okay.
Batman costume. I mean, Superman costume back here.
Okay.
Um, no, we love Superman too. But
Okay.
Batman has been a favorite for my whole life, pretty much.
Okay. Why do you like Batman?
Batman has always reminded me a little bit of myself in that he is just a normal guy that had a tragedy as a child, and he made an oath to God that he would fight the criminals, right? If you read the old comics, he does this. He after the death of his parents, he um, is saying a prayer, and Alfred sees him saying a prayer to God. Um, in his grief, he makes a promise to God that he's going to fight criminals and get not get revenge, but do that in their memory, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've always felt like I had like superheroes have these origin stories, right? And it's been like therapy in a way for me to think that like Batman, I have had a tragedy as a child also. I
Mm-hmm.
lost something as a child, and I'm trying to use that to create something good for other people and try to um, bring justice to other criminals. And in a way that he's always been like, I've always thought he's just a guy. He was just a kid. He doesn't have any magical powers. He's just a kid that made a commitment that he was going to get better and fight bad guys, And I've just always liked that. I felt like I could relate to him a little bit.
So you're like Batwoman,
Right.
Batgirl, then. Batgirl. Okay. So who is your favorite Batman?
Well, that's tough. I always like whoever the current one is, right? I loved Michael Keaton,
Uh-huh.
and then I loved the Dark Knight series. This was my son's fascination while the Dark Knight series was going on. Christopher Nolan's movies are nuts, but now if Ben Affleck is absolutely my favorite Bruce Wayne I've ever seen, and I want to see more of him as Batman. I don't think we've seen enough of him as Batman in to really judge the Batman, but I would say Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. Okay. And is it Ben Affleck because he's the last one, or is it Ben Affleck because you feel like he is the best Batman?
Well, like I said, he is my Bruce Wayne. That opening scene in Batman v Superman where he is trying to get to the Wayne building, the financial building, and he is driving through the town, and everybody, and at one point he gets out of the car and he is running into the danger and everybody else is running out, and he just runs into the big thing of smoke, and man, I think he's the best Bruce Wayne, like by far. I love his Bruce Wayne, and I think he's the best.
And Superman, is it going to be Henry Cavill or Christopher Reeve?
Let me decline this phone call.
What's up, Simon Says? Nice to see you. What you need? Also, nice to see you guys.
Definitely Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill. Okay. Now let me tell you about me. My favorite, as you could tell, it's Superman. And the reason I like him is more of he's more of a messianic figure. His story correlates with the story of the Bible, how God gave his only son to the world, how Joel sent his only son to the world, Christ sacrificed himself, and also Superman sacrificed himself. So there's a lot of similarities with that character. Now let's set aside the Batman versus Superman. I'm assuming the best Batman movie, did you like, was it The Dark Knight, or was it The Dark Knight Rises? Was it Michael Keaton's 89 or Val Kilmer? Which Batman movie did you like the most?
Gosh, that's a tough question.
I know that's what they pay me for, to ask the tough questions.
My favorite Batman movie is The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight, yeah. I remember. I'm not sure if you remember. When Heath Ledger, he took a lot of heat. The studio took a lot of heat. And I remember when Ben Affleck was first cast, I must admit, folks, that at that time I didn't like the casting. I didn't think it was a good casting. And then when I saw BVS, I was just blown away. I was just blown away by how intimidating that Batman was at that particular time. Now let's start with the Man of Steel. Did you like Man of Steel?
Oh, I loved it.
You loved it. What is it about that storyline that Zack presented that you like?
Well, it's just a different Superman that I've ever seen. I've never, you can relate to him so much more. He seems like this guy who is just trying to find his place in the world, like we all are. He's trying to figure out who he is and how he can help people. And you see his it just seems so much more realistic than any other Superman show I've ever seen, where he really struggles with the decisions that he makes, and
Correct.
it just felt real. It felt like if you were going to have a superhero, if you were going to have a Superman in world right now, what would it be like? And it felt perfectly to me like what it would be like if Superman dropped from the sky right now, and the reaction that the world would have, right? I just
Yes.
liked how he was held accountable, and like people were questioning him, and he wasn't just flowers and daisies and everything was happy, and there's something in the sky and it's wonderful, yay, like it seemed very realistic to me that people would be scared a little bit.
You touch on something, and I often tell people, that those people that have a problem with Man of Steel, that they want to atone as Christopher for Reeve Superman, and I try to tell them that they just don't. You can't tell a story now the way you were told a story in the 70s.
Yeah.
Totally two different times.
Yeah.
And the people that have a problem with Superman killing General Zod didn't have a problem in Superman 2, but I tell people that in Superman 2, when Superman killed General Zod didn't have the power. He was a regular human being, and Superman smile picked him up and threw him across and killed him. I mean, the own director said that General Zod perished. And here in Man of Steel, Superman has to make a decision.
Yeah.
What do I do? He's never killed before, obvious. He's always saving people, obvious.
Right.
And he either kills the last of his kind. Check that out, folks. The last of his kind, or he saved that family right there. General Zod presented ultimatum to him. General Zod told them either I die or they die.
Yeah.
So what's Superman supposed to do? So I agree with you that it presented a Superman in a different light, and you're right. If an alien was to come down now off the sky with that kind of power,
yeah,
the world will go crazy.
Right.
I want to. Here you go. This says we have we have to stick to the man, meaning Warner Brothers. By having a Snyder Cut be the most successful movie of this year, with just that, they can ignore. And we're gonna discuss that later on, the events that's going on for the last 24 hours. So, BVS, what did you think about BVS?
I liked it. I liked the Ultimate Edition a lot more. More. And that's the only one I watch now. And I love that. I loved that.
Okay.
I love that it just starts right where Man of Steel basically ends.
Yes.
I love seeing the Zod laser, his eyes shooting all through the buildings, and you just can picture exactly the scene that's happening. You can see them flying through the sky, and you can, it's super fun to watch Man of Steel and then go right to it. And I'm planning to watch Man of Steel and then the extended cut and then the Snyder cut. Like, I can't wait.
Julie, you know when I noticed that when we talk about Zack Snyder, his movie, there's a glow in your face, like you. Yes. Now, what were the complaints that you will hear from your friends as far as BVS, those people that didn't like it?
Oh, it's too dark. It's mostly that it's a dark, bad movie. Like, it's not happy enough. It's not, superhero movies should be bright and cheerful, and you should be able to watch them with any kid, or, just different things like that. I know some people that won't watch Dark Knight either for that same reason, that it's just too dark. And I think that they're nuts. My little kids have all seen the Ultimate Cut.
Right. And do they like it?
Oh yeah. And I want my kids to watch a world where there's consequences, where death doesn't feel good. There are some superhero movies that I would rather show them one where it's such a serious tone and they feel uncomfortable when there's death happening around them, instead of some movies of a different universe where there's just some fun music happening and people are getting killed left and right and literally bodies falling from the sky in a certain movie that I'm thinking about. And it is wildly accepted as just totally safe and great for children. But Batman v Superman's not, because it's too serious, I guess. But I just think that's crazy. I
Right,
mean,
right,
it's a movie for everyone, right? I prefer this serious, more realistic type of superhero movie.
right. Now, did you see Justice League?
Yes,
Okay.
I
Uh,
did.
now let's be honest. I haven't.
Saw
I've
that
seen the.
early.
I've seen the first 10, 15 minutes. Now I know Lightcast is doing a watch party,
Yeah.
and Matt personally invited me to watch it with him, and I felt like that was like a low blow. Like how are you gonna do that to me? But did you know right away that it wasn't Zach's movie?
Yeah, I didn't understand, but it felt completely different, right? It did not feel like a continuation of Batman v Superman. And I still enjoyed it, right? I was there with I showed it to my kids and everybody laughed. There was lots of comedy. And it was okay, but then after, when you're talking about it, you're like, wait, what happened with the nightmare scene? Like when Flash comes back and like there was so many things that didn't get connected, that didn't make sense. And so then when you learned that Snyder wasn't able to finish it and that it got changed, then it made sense to me. And I started to wonder, well, what was it supposed to be like? What was it
Right.
supposed to be like? I got to see it early with some there was a red carpet event for these kids that I made costumes for. And so I got to see it early. And of course I couldn't leave, or would want to leave early, because I was there with those kids. If you do a Google search for real Justice League kids, you'll see the photography by Josh Rossi, and I made the costumes for all that. And Warner Brothers and Zack Snyder arranged a red carpet event for them. And they sent us to a restaurant, paid for a nice dinner, took them in a Humvee limo, and took us to a red carpet theater event where they gave them prizes and gifts, and then we watched the movie. And, it was okay, but I could definitely tell that it was not a continuation of the first two movies.
Right. Okay. Um have you okay, so tell us, who do you know in the Snyder Cut community?
Who do I know?
Yes.
Well, I don't know if I know everybody's first names, but on Vero there's, oh man, I should open them up. Obviously, I know the Nerd Queens and Meg,
Uh-huh.
and I know Abdul and, I'm going to forget names. I just need to open up my app. I have a whole bunch. And if you go to my Twitter and look at the header or whatever, you'll
Mhm.
see a picture that my daughter drew for me that shows me with several of the Vero friends, Luis, Darren, Fazitude, Julian, that's his name, whole bunch of people.
I see Chris Wan. I think it's Chris Wan, the bald-headed guy. Is that
Yeah.
Chris Wan?
I have to look.
I'm assuming that's you with the glasses in the middle
Mhm.
with the JO.
League shirt, yeah.
Yes. No, I think that's Meg. I recognize her. Uh
And Koje's in it, and I'm trying
Laura, Laura Koji. Hopefully one day I'll make the picture.
Yeah, we need to draw it again. I had her draw that when the Us United thing was coming out, and I had her draw that for me from some of my people that had donated to my legal fees and people that had shared my story. I just felt so united with them and others, but I kept giving her people's pictures. I would snag their picture and I would give it to her, and she's like, Mom, another face, another face. And I wanted to put more and more on there, but she's like, Mom, this is really hard. You're giving me lots of people to draw. So I had to stop it after like 16 faces. But we're there with the Justice League. We're there with Snyder's in there. And I had her put the Justice League cast. That's a picture that we found on the internet where the Justice League cast was standing. And then so we inserted Snyder in there and a whole bunch of people. You can see Ray Fisher, and Cavill has his, I don't know if she put his mustache on there or not. I need to look at the picture now.
Yeah, I see Ben Affleck. I see Ben Affleck there. I definitely see Ben.
Oh, and if you just look at my header, the picture is trimmed. You have to go find it, the full image further down. But yeah, Gal Gadot standing there with her hair in a braid, and Ray Fisher sitting down on the floor. Aquaman has got his arm around Ezra. Yes.
Okay. So what obviously we all are.
You can see that.
Yeah, I can. Oh yeah, I definitely could see it. Maybe you could DM it to me so I could actually see.
Okay.
So where are you gonna see the Snyder Cut? Are you gonna see in a friend's house? Are you gonna have guests over?
I'm watching it at home.
Uh-huh.
We don't do anything with anybody right now just because I have an immunocompromised son. He got his first shot, and we're grateful for that. He's waiting for his second one.
Mhm.
So we will just watch it at home with her family. I'll watch it first with my husband, unless he doesn't want to, then I'll just watch it alone because I am watching it as soon as I can. And if he doesn't want to stay up till midnight or whenever it comes out, that's fine. I'll watch it alone. But I have to watch it first before I can show it to my little kids, just to make sure if there's something I need to skip or whatever when I show it to them. But they're definitely going to see it because they want to see it bad.
Okay. Because I'm planning to have a cowboy steak that I'm gonna make with mashed potato and corn. With a nice pina colada. I'm going to definitely watch it.
Yeah.
Now, have you read? Are you planning to get Sean O'Connor book?
I would love to. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, do you think we're gonna get a Justice League 2?
Do I think?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because every time Snyder talks about it, he says no. But man, when he said today in that IGN thing that we're going to be left with a cliffhanger because he was planning on another movie, right? And he told everybody today that it's going to be a major cliffhanger. I'm like, there's no way. The fans, we're going to I know we're all going to come together and demand for another one. So yes, right now I'm going to say yes. I believe in my heart that we're going to get a second one.
Okay, give me a second. Let me plug in because I see my battery is getting low, and I don't want the stream.
Yeah.
To definitely end. So I'm gonna go more in depth later on. So I know Allie's gonna be she's running a little behind. So Julie, I want to thank you for sharing with me your, well, I'm gonna call it triumph. Your triumph of victory. You demonstrated how you're a strong woman. You are truly a Wonder Woman. That or every woman, or forget every woman, every person could look up to. So I hopefully the right thing is done.
I hope so.
And if there's anything that I could do, I'm here. You could reach me to DM. You have my cell. So if anything that you need from me, I'm here for you, Julie.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, folks, that was Julie who shared with us about her story, what's going on, and also her favorite another Batman fan. I need to find where are all my Superman fan. But Julie, thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. That was Julie, folk. I knew it was gonna get a little emotional. But it was I wanted to give her a voice to talk about what she went through, and it sounds like that man is going to be brought to justice. So which what we want. So now I'm just waiting for Allie to try to join us. She's running behind. Um, but I know a lot of you guys want me to talk about what's transpired in the last 24 hours. And um, I'm not surprised. I'm definitely not surprised. But I want you folks to look at how it was reported. It's not a recast, because if it was a recast, they would recast Kyle. So this is Warner Brothers, and I said it on a tweet yesterday. This is Warner Brothers' attempt to try to discourage fans. Now, Zack Snyder said that the movie ends with a big cliffhanger. This is my opinion only. I don't think Zack would do that if he didn't feel like we have a chance to get the second Justice League. Now, I want us to stop focusing on, including myself, what Warner Brothers is going to do or not going to do. What we need to do is stay focused, stay the course. And if we want to get a Justice League 2 or 3, if we want a Henry Cavill to stay as Superman, Kyle, our Superman, if we want to see Ben Affleck Deathstroke movie or even a Joker movie, if we want to see Cyborg, Ray Fisher, if we want to see them back, this is how we do it. The Snyder Cut has to be a financial success. Folks, I'm not talking about doing okay. If we want a Justice League 2 or 3, if we want the Snyderverse to continue, we must make the Snyder Cut a financial success. A no-brainer. A no-brainer. That it gets lit. It gets approval within 2 weeks after its release. That's how we're going to do it. That's how we're going to continue the Snyderverse. There is no way that Jason Kilar, if he see the success that Snyder Cut has, it don't matter what Warner Brothers is going to do. It don't matter. But we need to focus on making this movie the most successful movie that it can have. We need to make this the most successful movie that when they see the numbers, they'd be dumb not to approve Justice League 2 or 3. I have confidence in Jason Kilar that he's going to do the right thing. I have all the faith in the world that Jason, HBO Max, is going to do the right thing once it's approved. I cannot stress enough to you guys that we must ignore what Warner Brothers, because folks, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. I don't need someone from the know to know that in March, Warner Brothers is going to attempt to try to put out the fire, to try to discourage us fans not to support this cut, not to make it successful, not to make it a hit. I mean, whoever said that the Snyder Cut is a cul-de-sac, Zack Snyder just told you that it ends with a cliffhanger. So it should tell you that it's a hit job, guys. All this is a hit job. All this, what they're trying to do, is a hit job. So I'm asking everyone who watches this to not to focus on what Warner Brothers is doing. Let's keep our focus in our mission. What is our mission? To make the Snyder Cut. I mean, to go for the kill, to make this a financial success. That should be our focus. That should be our goal. Because if it's our focus, if it's our goal, guys, again, Warner Media and Jason Clear will be dumb not to greenlit Justice League 2 and 3. And this is what Warner Brothers is so afraid. And the thing that I don't understand what Warner Brothers is doing. They are devaluing their own property. They are devaluing their own property. They own the DC characters. They are devaluing. I mean, why would you do that? Warner Brothers, in what world do you think it's okay not listening to the consumer? In what world, tell me, that you think it's okay that you won't listen to your customer? In what world? In what world? Please tell me, in what world? No business can't survive without its customer. No business can survive without listening to the consumer. So, folks, get ready. Zack Snyder basically told us already that there's a war coming. That's a great point, George. That's a great point. All this is a smokescreen, folks. They're trying to rebrand their image. But see, a lot of us are too smart for that. A lot of us are too smart for that. So I'm trying to buy time for Allie, because I know she said she's running behind. So I do you think we're going to have a few DC films before Justice League 2 connects to everything again? Well, we got the Flash, and from what I'm hearing, I think I think Andy Machete is trying to not call it Flashpoint. I think that's what I'm hearing. Not saying that it's 100% true, but that's what I'm hearing. And Eric Davis, they came on my show, and he did indicate it, that it's not going to be just Justice League 2, but they would like to get all the characters there. As far as do I think? Well, let's look at it. We have Aquaman 2. That's definitely gonna come out before Justice League 2. We're gonna have the Flash, whatever it's called. It's gonna come out before Justice League 2. If and again, I'm assuming that we're gonna get Justice League 2 because there is no way that this is not going to be a financial hit. I think it's gonna do way better than Wonder Woman 84. I think the Snyder Cut is going to destroy whatever numbers Wonder Woman did. Wonder Woman 84 is going to exceed expectation. Is going to exceed that for sure. Definitely for sure. I've been thinking a lot. It's tough now. How do you hit Warner Brothers without hitting HBO Max? That's a great question. And we do it the way we did it before, where we flooded everything that Warner Brothers threw out. You know, continue the Snyderverse. That's how we're gonna do it. I mean, I think that there's an article, something about was it Sesame Street, Elmo, and somebody said release the Snyder Cut. I think there was an article about that. That's how we make noise. You know, by phone calls. You know, the same thing that we got the Snyder Cut release. That's how we do it. We float Warner Brothers, we float Warner Medias, we float HBO Max with phone calls, tweets, letter campaign, telling them, "Hey, you have an audience here. Hey, we're your customer. Listen to us." And Jason Kilar basically said it. He basically said that we need to start listening to the customer, folks. He said that if he's true to his word, that they need to start listening to the customer. This is where we make our statement. We make it on March 18th. That's where we make our statement. That's where we make our statement. On March 18th. There's It does. It does. It does. Now think about that, guys. Think about that. A trailer has almost 20 million views. If we could get a million to 3 million new subscribers with generating 20 million views on a Snyder Cut, that's a huge statement. That's a huge statement right there. That's how we get Justice League 2 and 3. So, guys, expect an all-out assault from Warner Brothers this month. And Robert Brunette Meyer, or Robert Meyer Brunette, he said that Warner Brothers are house divided. That's what he said. It's a house divided. It's a house divided. So if it's a house divided, I mean, all those hit jobs that's coming out, I mean, we could take a guess who they're from. Tommy Maguire, not Tommy Maguire, Tommy Emmerich, and Walter Hamada. They don't want the Snyder Cut to succeed. And this is what drives me crazy. Warner Brothers, the people that are anti-Snyder, if you believe that the Snyder Cut it was and is still unwatchable, that is not a success, then why do you care? Why you put out a hit piece? If you feel like nobody's gonna watch it, then why are you trying to do what you're trying to do? If you're so confident in your vision, if you're so confident that your vision is gonna work, then focus on your vision and leave Zach alone. But the reason that you worry is because you never thought that this movement, this movie, is probably going to be the biggest movie. Folks, I believe in my heart that if this movie, the Snyder Cut, if we were not living under the pandemic, it would have made close to $2 billion. Ain't no doubt in my mind. Today, if we were not in the pandemic and the movie was being released in theaters in March, where everything that has went on, the publicity, the marketing, even the going the back and forth between Warner Brothers and Zack Snyder, you would have had people that would have been an event. People would have went to watch it just to watch to see what's the big fuss going about this movie. This movie would have made $2 billion easily, easily. So we need to make this a financial success. Not just doing okay, not just doing this, not just doing that. It needs to be a financial success. If it does okay, we probably won't. It's probably the end of the Snyderverse. So, guys, I cannot stress to you, and I'm not the only one saying this, guys. I mean, I got this from my person, and I only have one, but it's just not me just saying it. It's the blue check mark. Everyone is saying this, that we need to make March 18th. March 18th is a day of truth. March 18th is where we make a stand. March 18th is where we send a message to HBO Max, to Warner Media, and yes, to Warner Brothers. We send a statement. We send them the statement. Because, guys, it's not about just talking. Warner Brothers wants to see. I'm gonna talk to the people in chat. Let's start with Andrew. Let's get you guys involved. Andrew, you said that this film is going to end in a massive cliffhanger. Folks, in the chat, I want you to tell me, what do you think is the cliffhanger? What do you think is the cliffhanger? And what would you like the cliffhanger to be? Um, this is my opinion. Not that because I don't know anything. I really don't. But I believe that if we make the financial statement on March 18th, I think it's going to be quick. I really believe that in my heart. I believe in my heart that Jason Killer probably already knows what's the magic number to greatness. I haven't, again, guys. This is just me thinking. No one has told me anything. I believe that Zach already knows that if it does a certain percentage of view, that he knows he's gonna get it. That's what I believe. I believe he's being coy. He's being very cryptic. Obviously, it's not his decision. It's true. It's not his decision. It's our decision. We decide whether there's going to be a Justice League 2 or 3. It's our decision, our time. Yes. Julie says, I believe the immediate danger is solved, but the long term danger and a hawk girl or guy shows up to join the fight. So, folks, Julie think is it Hawk Girl or Hawkman? Is she thinks is that? What do you think? Now, I'm gonna go on a limb, and I'm basing this based on the question that they asked Zack Snyder as far as the open capsule. I think I could be wrong, guys. I think it's Supergirl. That's what I think. I think it's Supergirl. Now, if it's not Supergirl, Zach said that it's gonna blow the comic book. It's gonna blow the comic book minds. Supergirl will definitely do that. I know Carrie. The Robin that would definitely blow you know some minds. Do I think Superman will succumb to Darkseid? Not in Justice League 1. No, I don't think that. Now, obviously, Justice League 2 is going to be mostly about the Nightmare. So that I think he will in Justice League 2. So that's why I think when Superman will succumb to the anti-life. It's in Justice League 2. Uh, do I think the big reveal is going to be Ryan Reynolds and The Rock? Simon says that's funny. The Rock, no. I mean, back in the beginning, there was strong rumors of Ryan Reynolds, but I honestly don't know, guys, about Ryan Reynolds. And if it's a Green Lantern, that's quite possible. That could be the big cameo, the Green Lantern. That definitely could be the big cameo. Yes, he did, George. He did say that Justice League 2 is the Nightmare Future. So, Zach did say that. I do think I'm awesome too. Thank you. I do think that. Zach teased there might be another female member of the league who might that be? Okay, well, Julie said maybe Hawk Girl. I'm saying Supergirl. What other female member it could be? Obviously, we know about Hawk Girl. Obviously, we know about Supergirl. He did indicated that. Um, definitely did. That definitely could be a female Green Lantern for sure, for sure, definitely for sure, definitely for sure. So we got a female Green Lantern. We got Supergirl. We got Hawk Girl. Can someone find me um the correct the direct quote as far as Zack Snyder as far as being a female lead character? Um oh, thank you. That was nice. That was nice, Julie. So, folks, I'm gonna probably wait another 5 minutes for Allie. if she doesn't come on because she's not she just says she's busy after Julie said that he was asked if there will be another female, and he said he couldn't confirm or deny because either one would be a spoiler. So I think what will blow people's mind is Supergirl. That's what I think. And if that's the case, if it is Supergirl, then it will make sense why Warner Brothers would announce Sasha Calle as Supergirl. The question is, when was that footage or that video conference made? When was it? Because it could have been done before the reshoots, and they cast her there, and that's Supergirl, because Annie Machete is using all the cast of Justice League, every single one of them except for Michael Keaton. But that's to set up the Batman Beyond. But he has Ben Affleck, the Flash. There are talks of Wonder Woman be there. Cyborg was originally in there. Henry Cavill. He's trying to get other leagues there. I believe that too. I definitely believe that. I definitely believe that. I mean, guys, what do you think the cliffhanger is? I want to know from you. Is it Lois Lane dying by Darkseid? That could be a big cliffhanger that leads to Justice League 2. That Darkseid kills Lois Lane from the boom. I mean, can you imagine that cliffhanger that Lois Lane dies? Julie says that Lois finds out she's pregnant. But is that a big cliffhanger? I don't think it's a big cliffhanger. It could be a cliffhanger in the midst of the movie, but it needs something that leads to Justice League 2. So my theory, my question is, Jorge says it ends with Flash running back in time. But that's a cliffhanger, but that's not a massive cliffhanger. Folks, Zack Snyder said massive cliffhanger. Lois Lane died by the hands of Darkseid is a massive cliffhanger. That is a massive cliffhanger. Lois Lane dying by the hands of Darkseid. Tell me what other cliffhanger. I mean, because we're gonna want to know. I mean, that's gonna lead into Justice League 2. That leads into the nightmare scene. That leads into the nightmare scene. Yes, Julie. Zack did say that. Zack said that Bruce develops feelings for her, but she loves Superman, and she has Superman baby. I think what Zack wanted to do. I think Zack wanted to shoot and have it Bruce Wayne and Lois Lane have anything, but I think Warner Brothers shut that down. So that definitely could be it. But folks, if Justice League 2 is the nightmare scene, how do you get there? I guys, I'm telling you, I think that the cliffhanger ends with Lois Lane dying. That's what I think. That's what I think. Because I'm trying to go through my head. What could be the massive cliffhanger? I'm going in one by one. Deathstroke and Batman, yeah, but that leads into a Deathstroke Batman movie or series. If they wanted to go that route. I'm trying to think in my mind what could be the massive cliffhanger that will lead into going to Justice League 2. And see, okay, here's the thing. Jorge says that Steppenwolf kills Lois and Superman. No, I don't think it's Steppenwolf. I think it's Darkseid. Steppenwolf is gonna die. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You guys heard it from me first. I want you guys to tweet out that Louis Centeno on his show stated that his theory is that the big massive cliffhanger is Darkseid killing Lois Lane. That's what I think. That's what I think. There is no other cliffhanger that I can think about. I mean, I've been thinking about this all day today. When Zack made it known that the Snyder Cut ends with a massive cliffhanger. Julie says, I don't think she dies, but she's in grave danger. Okay, but that's a cliffhanger, but that's not a massive cliffhanger. And we know in the Snyder-a-thon that Zack did right. Lois dying by the hands of Darkseid. I I I'm sticking with my theory. I'm gonna stick with that. That's what I'm predicting. I am predicting, and the people that see this is my prediction that Lois Lane dies at the end by the hands of Darkseid. That leads into Justice League 2 and all the nightmare seeing and all that stuff. This is where Flash plays a big role. Lois Lane is the key. Thoughts on how Zack did the Superman suit back in 2013? Brilliant. I mean that is a brilliant mind. I mean, you guys see that on there. Funny. We don't see Wonder Woman in the nightmare future. Because I think she's dead. I think Zach said that in SnyderCon that Darkseid kills Wonder Woman. What do you think about Justice League 2? It will happen, guys. Like I stated early on, if we want Justice League 2, we need to make this a, guys, not just okay. We need to make a statement. We need to make a statement. When I mean statement, a no-brainer. That it beats Wonder Woman's number on HBO Max. That's the statement I'm referring to. That it needs to be one. It needs to make a statement like a no-brainer. The statement that needs to be made, that Jason Kilar tells Warner Brother, look how much money we made, and to go lit it, they have no other choice but to say yes. I mean, the number will be so great that they'll be forced to. The world only makes sense when we force it to it. Remember that line from BVS? That's what we need to do. We need to force it to Warner Brothers. What if Superman accidentally kills Lois Lane? Okay, here's another major cliffhanger. Superman kills Lois Lane. That is a major cliffhanger. But I will take out accidentally, and I will just put he kills Lois Lane. That is a massive cliffhanger, but that I don't think that's gonna happen. No, I don't think that's it. That is a massive cliffhanger, but that's not it. It just it doesn't make sense that it happens that way. Do you think people are making a big deal with Zach wanting to add a chemistry between Bruce and Lois Lane after Superman's death? Um, everyone has an opinion on that. When I heard it, I was like, really? Um, it didn't make sense that if Lois Lane did still love Clark, why would she do that? So I don't know. The only way would have made sense if Darkseid would have took over Lois Lane's mind and made her evil, something like that. We saw in The Dark Knight Rises how Bruce Wayne had that fling with that chick, and she wound up being the one that uh, that stabs him. So if Superman didn't wear his cape with the black suit, he would look just like Zod in Man of Steel. Yeah, agree. Definitely agree. Stream it like your life depends on it. If you want Justice League 2 to happen, also buy the hot toys, shirts, and merchandise. We'll try. Um, yes, but guys, but the big statement is gonna come from streaming, making it successful. That's where it's gonna come. That's where we're gonna get it from. Lois, in the comics, Lois married Bruce Wayne. That's true. And in the comics, Superman marries Wonder Woman. Yes, that's true. That is definitely true. But I don't think in the story the way Zach is telling it, I think, um, now maybe if he would have been allowed to write that in, the story would have been a little different. But not now, not now. Yes, I do apologize. The symbol are different. The the symbol are definitely different. That's definitely different. Guys, Allie just hit me up and she just said, unfortunately, she's not able to join. She just, I mean, she's a mom, with two infants, so she couldn't make it. She says there's a rain check, so it's fine. Things happen. So I'm gonna wrap this up in a few. Uh, this is a rumor, and I don't know if it's true that the real Doomsday will fight Darkseid. So what do I think about that? I've never heard of that rumor, to be honest with you. Where did you hear that from? I've never heard of that. Never heard of that rumor. Where did you get that rumor from? If you could tell me. I've never heard of that rumor before. So all right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. I want to thank Julie for joining me. What a wonderful strong woman that she is. Cat DM me this morning that she was called in to save life. Obviously, that's more important than coming on my show. And in Twitter, I've never heard of that rumor before, to be honest with you. I mean, Zach did say there are other doom days out there, but I've never heard of that rumor, and so I don't. It's highly unlikely. So that being said, folks, I want you guys to join me on Monday. John Garth is going to join me at 7 p.m. It's going to be awesome to finally speak with him. I appreciate him coming on. We need to get together and we need to fight back. We need to make this movie the most successful movie of all time. That's how we're going to get Justice League 2, by making a statement on March 18th. March 18th is the day of truth. So, guys, and please do me a favor. If you guys haven't done so, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I greatly appreciate it. Hit the notification button on. Below the description field, it's a link to donate for the Juvenile Diabetes. If you just go, please just donate just $5. All the people that watch this, just donate $5. I greatly appreciate it. The money doesn't go to me; it goes to Juvenile Diabetes. To find a cure for juvenile diabetes, and not just juvenile diabetes, but type 1 diabetes. So if you could do that for me, I greatly appreciate it. So guys, I thank you for joining the show. I greatly appreciate it, and thank you for watching. And again, guys, join me on Monday. Thank you very much. So long.